What's up, YouTube? This is BattleCooly here with another battle against SirCharles, aka part of the BattleCooly channel. He sends out Espeon, and I send out my Arcanine. I use the Intimidate ability, which doesn't really do anything to Espeon, since it's special attack. Espeon goes to the Side Shock, which takes out more than half of Arcanine's life, but I go for the Flare Blitz and knock it out in one hit. But bad news for me, I take out most of my life remaining, and I can only take one more hit. He sends out Rotom, Wash Form, and goes for a Thunderbolt. I knew Arcanine couldn't survive any more attacks in the future, so I sacrificed him. I go into my Metatitty, aka Metacham. I use my Psychic Cut, which takes out more than half, but not half. He goes with the Thunderbolt. This is probably the key play here, because all of a sudden I get Parahaxed. Not good at all. I switch out my Metatitty with my Electivire as he goes for a Thunderbolt. Lucky for me, that's my Motor Drive ability, which increases my speed. I accidentally misclicked here and went for the Ice Punch, which isn't very effective and doesn't kill it. But weirdly, he goes for another Thunderbolt, which gives me another speed boost. I go for another Ice Punch since I'm choice expanded and knock out the Rotom. Next, he sends out Gigalith, which was really bad for me for the misclick. So I switch my Electivire back with Staraptor, and he goes for the Earthquake, which doesn't affect my Staraptor, thank God. I go for the Close Combat, which sends it into the red, almost killing it, but not quite, as he goes for an Iron Defense. This battle was actually very close for us. He gets to go first and use the Stone Edge, which I'm curious how it went first. Well, anyways, it knocks out my Staraptor, which is not good at all. So I send out my Troll, which is a Ninjask. Now this is really just a baton passing one. I go for the Protect to get the extra speed boost, and he goes to the Stone Edge. Or the speed boost raises. And then I go for the Swords Dance, because I have a Focus Sash on this, so it'll be able to survive another attack. I raise my attack up, and he goes to the Stone Edge, which ends up taking it down to the 1 HP. I go for another Protect on this turn. Just so I can get another speed boost, and he goes to the Stealth Rocks. Smart play on his turn. And my speed raises, and I baton pass into Electivire. He then goes for the Earthquake, or the Stone Edge, I mean, which avoids, and I go for the Cross Chop, but it misses, of course. Then he goes to the Earthquake, nearly killing my Electivire, but not quite. I go for another Cross Chop since I'm Bandit, and what do you know? It misses again. He goes for another Earthquake, knocking out my Electivire. Not good. Not good at all. I go into my Kingdra, who is choice expected. I go for the Dragon Pulse, which I'm going to be locked into. It knocks out the Gigalith. He goes into Mandibuzz, and I'm fast, so I get to go for Dragon Pulse, which takes about half, maybe a little less. He goes to the Toxic. I thankfully avoid it, and go for another Dragon Pulse. This doesn't kill it, but it can only survive one more turn. He goes for a Toxic again, and luckily for him, it hits this time. So, he has the leftovers, and I'm getting toxicated. Well, this Kingdra isn't really a helper, it's just a suicide. Just to kill as much as he can before he dies, since he's choice expected. I knock out the Mandibuzz. I get hurt with the poison. He sends out Infernape. And he goes to the Thunder Punch. That takes out less than half of my remaining life as they go for the Dragon Pulse, knocking him out, knocking the Infernape out in one hit. I was surprised how strong this Kingdra was. I'm almost dead by the poison as he sends out Mamoswine, his last Pokemon. Pretty sure. I take out my Kingdra and go for my Ninjask just so I can get my Kingdra to use another move to be locked into. I go into my Kingdra, which can only survive one more hit, no matter what. I go for the Hidden Power, which is a Fire type, and it doesn't kill the Mamoswine, which is really, really bad. And he goes to the Icicle Crash. It didn't really matter what move he used because Kingdra was out in this turn. I go for my last Pokemon, Meditity, which is probably the end of the game since I'm Parahax. And Meditity can't do anything. He goes to the Earthquake, knocks me out. Good game, SirCharles. And rate, comment, subscribe, everything.